Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your attendance on today's Western Conference Championship Series media availability call as we preview what is shaping up to be a great series in, a very eventful playoff to this point. Joined on today's call by Windsor Spitfires head coach Marc Savard and captain Will Cuylle, along with Flint Firebirds head coach Ted Dent and captain Brennan Othmann. Of course, Brennan and Will, both prospects of the New York Rangers, so some familiarity there. To get us started this afternoon, I'll begin with Coach Savard. First year head coach in the OHL. I'm sure it's been an experience for you, particularly given the unique nature of the season we've gone through. But here we are in the conference finals, and just personally, I recall, reading through some clippings early in the season. There was a rough night in particular for the Spitfires, and you were very adamant about expressing your faith in the group, regardless of the context. I think it was a week or two into the season. Turns out you had good reason to say that based off where the team is now. I have to imagine you're pretty proud of the club that plays in front of you every night, and it's been quite an experience for your team to get to this point.
Yes, it has. First off, congratulations to Flint for making it here to the finals of the West. And I've been proud of my guys all year. There's been a lot of ups and downs, especially with COVID and stuff like that. And they just seem to battle through. There haven't been any complaints, sometimes getting shut down, starting back up. It's been really an eye-opener to see how these kids handled it. And, you can tell there's good backgrounds there. They're well-raised, and it's just been a pleasure. But as a coaching staff, we started the year, wasn't the greatest start, but we stuck with it. Kids hadn't played hockey in a while. We trusted the process, and here we are today, looking forward to a great series with Flint.
Of course, the Spitfires back in the Western Conference Championship Series for the first time since 2011. And of course, that 2011 year was the third of three straight appearances in the conference final on the heels of back-to-back Memorial Cups. So quite a legacy there in the backdrop. Of course, shouldn't overlook the 2017 Memorial Cup title on home ice. Will, the captain of this team, just kind of gauging back to the last two series, both Sarnia and Kitchener gave you guys a good run at various points, and just kind of honing in on the Kitchener series. I know there were a few instances of you guys playing from behind rather successfully, I might add, but up against a fresh opponent in Flint, how important is it for you guys to start fast here?
Obviously, I think that's going to be a big focus of ours, having good starts. I think a couple times in the Kitchener series, we got down early, and credit to our group, we really rallied back good almost every game. And so obviously, important starts and having good starts is going to be really important for us going into this series against Flint.
Just immediate on the call, if you'd like to put yourself in the queue to ask a question, I just ask that you use the raise hand function, and we will get to media questions in just a moment, but not before we head over to Flint with head coach Ted Dent. And the first time the Firebirds are going to be playing for the Wayne Gretzky Trophy to try and become Western Conference champions, a record-setting season across the board in Flint. And, I know you've been a busy guy this year, Ted. What's the experience been like? I know there's a lot of work still ahead, but I have to imagine you're proud of the team that has gotten to this point.
Yeah, obviously, mutual respect for Windsor, Marc Savard, and Billy Bowler and the whole organization. Looking forward to the series here. It's been a great year for our group, and it's been fun. First year in the league for me, and getting to know the players, the city, and all the challenges that go with COVID and this season. But overall, it's been a great season.
Brennan, your team is familiar with Windsor. You guys played each other 8 times this season, and they had your number during the regular season. There was an instance where you were able to beat them, but knowing what you do about this Windsor club and the weapons that they have, how do you prepare to face them and maybe put a few of the regular season meetings in the rearview mirror?
Yeah, they're obviously a good hockey team. They've got some good hockey players over there from their front end to their back end, and obviously we're going to be aware of that. And Yeah, they've had a number all year. That's why they were first in the conference for a reason. And like I said, they're a good hockey club and they're a good team. But you know what? Playoffs is a different year. It's a different time, and our group's been playing really well right now. We're really excited for this series, and it's definitely going to be a good one for both teams.
Thanks, guys. Time we will open things up to media, and we have a number of questions in the queue here. We will begin with Brandon Green, who I have seen cover the Firebirds throughout the season. Brandon, you can go ahead.
You guys can hear me?
Loud and clear.
Oh, okay. Brennan, I wanted to start with you. You mentioned Ted Lasso before this past series about you guys wanted to have the mindset of a goldfish, a real short memory. Is that the same thing going into this series? And have you been watching any more Ted Lasso?
Well, I watched that in the summertime a little bit, but I haven't got back into it. No, but yeah, no. Obviously, when I saw that, I thought it was a really cool line, and you know, you have to have a mindset like a goldfish. It's got the shortest memory in the world, and win and lose, it doesn't matter. You have to bounce right back, have a short memory, and you know, we had a short memory against Owen Sound, and we played Sioux, and we had a short memory against Sioux, and now we're on to Windsor. So we just have to have a short memory, regardless if it's a win or a loss, and move on to the next day and prepare for the next game.
And then just one more, Coach Ted Dent. For you coming into this series, is it more so you guys are trying to get rest right now as you lead up to this, or do you start ramping it up during practice trying to prepare?
Yeah, I mean, after the Sioux series, you know, you take a few days off and rest up, but we're definitely trying to ramp it up here as the week goes and, you know, get our legs underneath us and have high tempo practices and be ready to go Saturday.
Thanks for your questions, Brandon. We'll go to Bob Belichico with CTV Windsor. Bob, you can go ahead.
Yes, thank you. This question, I guess we'll go with Will. Just curious, you know, Savi's done a good job, his staff, Deli and Juggy there. Just talk about what the coaching staff has meant to you and the team, you know, rounds and throughout the season, really.
Yeah, well, obviously, two new coaches this year. So at the start, it was obviously a little bit different, and especially with lots of new guys too. So I think, you know, just as the year went on, the players and myself just started to get more comfortable with both our new coaches and as a group. And I think that's what sort of helped us, you know, build our team too. And when we started winning a bit more, you know, we were starting to get more comfortable with our coaches. And I think we all just sort of bought into, you know, what they bring every day. And yeah, towards the end of the season, we were not really the players and coaches. We were just more one group.
And Savvy, just talk about guiding this team to this point. I mean, it's your first season. It's quite an accomplishment. Got to be proud. And obviously, job's not done, but you know, just how proud are you of your guys and what you've done here in Windsor?
Yeah, you know, very proud. Obviously, my first year in the league, being able to work with this group. You know, we got a lot of great hockey players. It's been a special year, you know, especially because, you know, the Spitfires haven't done a lot since 2011. So to be able to reward the city, you know, and the fans and you know, the players, you know, who've been excellent all season long. Like I said, this COVID year has been really tough, and these kids have battled all year, and I'm really proud of them. And there's still a little ways to go here, but it's been a great year, great learning, and hopefully, you know, can roll over into next season.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Bob. We'll go to Amanda Zurkowski with Eastlink TV. Amanda, go ahead.
Hi, this question is for Will. Will, we all know what happens during the regular season as far as the season series with the Firebirds is concerned. None of that really matters come playoffs. However, your club has had success versus the Firebirds. Does this bolster the confidence of your club coming into this Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously we're really confident going into it, but like you said, playoffs is a different time, and you know, we know Flint's probably going to come out a bit harder, and so we're obviously preparing harder, and you know, we're ready for whatever they throw at us.
Now, Coach Dent, your club seems to continue to find ways to level up on the compete level. What do you think gives your club an edge coming into this series?
Well, I don't think there's an edge for us at all here. You know, we're the third seed. We're coming in to the conference finals here against Windsor, and we're just going to have to play our best hockey against them. They're a great hockey team, as we all know. And you know, like Otter said, short memory. Each day is a new day, and we just have to prepare for Saturday and be ready for the first game.
Now, just to follow up to that, Luke Kavlin has been otherworldly for you guys in some of your games in the round 1 and round 2. How important has he been to the success of your team so far?
Well, he's a big piece for sure. You know, he's the backbone of our defense, and he's had a great season. He led the league in wins this year, and he's having a great playoffs. And you know, we need him every night, and we expect him to do the same thing moving forward here against Windsor.
Thanks, guys.
Our next question will come from Matt Tidcombe with the Canadian Hockey League. Matt, go ahead.
A couple of questions. First for Coach Dent, just how do you try to contain Wyatt Johnston in this series?
Yeah, that's a good question. If you have the answer, maybe you can let me know. But he's obviously a great hockey player, a lot of respect for him. You know, you can't really stop guys like that. You can just try and contain them and limit their chances if you can do that. So obviously elite player in this league and someone we want to, you know, keep an eye on for sure.
Our next question will come from Brad Cacciamiglio with Village Media. Brad, go ahead.
Thanks a bunch, Josh. Question for both coaches. Curious your thoughts on the idea that, you know, normally this time of year, teams that are in the conference finals have, you know, added some guys with some playoff experience. You know, it's obviously not the case this year, considering the COVID year last year and, you know, how young the league is this year. How do you guys kind of adjust, you know, going into a round like this where, you know, the intensity ramps up, you know, the game changes a little bit, you know, you're fighting through checks a little bit more. You know, how do you kind of help your players through that inexperience at this level, you know, especially at this time of year? Maybe, you know, maybe we could start with Marc and jump over to Ted after that.
Yeah, good question. I think it's, you know, going off past experiences. You know, I played a little bit of hockey in my time. So, you know, I'm able to relate that to the players, which I think we could do a good job of. You know, we've been preparing for the playoffs since, you know, January ourselves, you know, especially mid-game and talking about closing out games. So we're prepared, and, you know, it's just something we go over a lot. And, you know, I have an open door policy. You guys need to talk, you know, come on in, we'll talk about it. If I can help them out in any way, you know, I'm always having little meetings with guys on the ice and talking to them and prepare them for what best I know. So that's what I try and do, but you know, everybody's different.
Yeah, I guess, you know, for us, it's just day to day, game to game. We had a hard fought series against Owen Sound, so I think our guys gained some valuable experience from that series, playing in some, you know, high stressful situations in game 6 and 7. So, you know, you try to take a little bit from every series you play in and learn from those experiences and carry it on to the next series.
We will next go to Amanda Zerkowski with Eastlink TV once again. Amanda, go ahead.
Coach Savard, does the maturity that you've seen from your club, especially throughout the playoffs, help foster the winning culture that you've created for this Windsor Spitfires team?
Yeah, yes, 100%. You know, throughout the Sarnia series, we had different guys step up. Some of the younger players, you know, Abraham had a great series against Sarnia. DeAngelis really stepped up, and, you know, obviously our core group, our leaders were excellent. And then as it grew through the Kitchener series, again, we saw some bigger steps from those guys. So it's a learning process, you know, and we got to remember, like, this is Wyatt Johnston's first playoffs as well. So, you know, and for him too, to grow the way he has. Sarnia, you know, they had probably undoubtedly one of the best goalies in the league, Gaudreau. and then to move on against Kitchener and face Cuylle. We faced some great goaltending. So our guys have been robbed a couple times, and I'm sure they will be here in this next series against Cabin. But we've seen some great steps from a lot of our players.
As a coach, how have you been able to help your players? You talk about the open door policy, but to deal with the stresses of the fact that you guys have made it to round 3, and this is just the next level in the journey that you guys want to take to the Memorial Cup.
Exactly that. I use that word journey. We've been using that a lot around here, and being able to share my experiences. I was able to go to a Memorial Cup myself, obviously, and then get to the Stanley Cup too and win that. But just learning things. And if, Will has something to ask me, he's free to come and ask me. We talk about things every day. Same with Johnny or the young guys. So, there's a real trust thing there we've built throughout the season. And I think it turns over on the ice as well.
No further questions from the group. Just one follow-up from myself. I'd be remiss if I didn't try and capture this angle, but first for Will, obviously your opposing captain, part of the same NHL organization. You guys probably have a little bit of familiarity with each other. Obviously, this is a series that's about the Windsor Spitfires and the Flint Firebirds first and foremost. But does that add a little bit of intrigue to the series, not just for the scouts there in New York, but for some of the fans who follow professional hockey?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think so. I think obviously some New York fans maybe keeping track, and probably some scouts watching too. So that's pretty cool. But like you said, like the focus is obviously here. It's Windsor versus Flint. So that's where my head's at, and that's our main focus here.
And Brennan, I'll just flip it over to you as well. Good to know there's going to be some eyeballs watching this series, but I'm sure your heart and your mind are with the logo on your chest.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I'm here to play for Flint. I'm playing for Flint right now. Obviously, Cuylle is a very good player, and that's why the Rangers took him. He's a good player. He's a good guy. So, but obviously, I'm just focused on our series here. I'm focused on us playing Windsor and the next days ahead, and I'm not too worried about who's watching or who's going to be there. I'm just going to try to focus on my game and my team, and we're just going to go there and succeed and do well in this series.
Excellent. The Western Conference Championship Series for the Wayne Gretzky Trophy gets underway Saturday night in Windsor between the Spitfires and the Firebirds. Thanks for everyone who attended today, and gentlemen, thank you for your time. That will conclude today's call. We will see everyone at the rink.